So the other day, I created an entire sim based off of the Plant-A-Sim scenario in The Sims 4. And since that video and this one are related, I will go ahead and provide a link down in the comments or maybe even in the description to that video. But keep in mind, if you want to save it for later, it will be also linked at the end of this one. Additionally, in that video, I asked you guys for a little bit of assistance as to where you thought Miss Cecile Green would live and what type of home she would have. Cats on Broadway said I could definitely see her living in a container house on Evergreen Harbor that is just surrounded by plants. And when I read this, I was like, say no more, say no less, because I too, when creating Cecile, also had that exact same vision for her. In fact, I honestly think with how dynamic Cecile's personality is, we could have literally made any type of home and just threw in a poop ton of plants and it would have sufficed just fine. But I wanted to go the extra mile and create a home that I felt really reflected her personality, or at least what I envisioned for her, but also was versatile enough that if you wanted to live here, you totally could, and you didn't necessarily have to be a plant sim. So we are starting off with the PP shipping container that I created a while back when Eco Lifestyle just came out and is also on my gallery 102606. And basically, we're doing a few different conversions to it. So I'm adding in like a kitchen, kind of like just the main space, let's be real, because this is technically, I'm proud of this one. This is a tiny home residential lot type, so you'll also get those perks, girl. And with that said, I didn't have a lot of space to really, utilize, so to speak. So I do keep it very compact in the main container, if you will, but I wanted to add in some extra space. So instead, I decided to throw on a little rooftop balcony, which does house a bunch of different activities. There's a lot of like things you'll be doing up there, and you'll definitely make a ton of use out of it, just kind of depending on what your Sims interests are. And because we are creating a home for Cecile, I did want to create a little space for her to have like her candle making station, and some like additional like gardening tools, which you guys will see a little bit later. For the landscaping of this build, I really did want to go gung-ho with the plants, and I did to some extent, but I also wanted to not overdo it per se, because trust me, if you add in a lot of plants and a lot of like, flowers and grass, it can definitely become a little too busy to where I actually find the build not enjoyable to play in, but that's just me. So I'm laying down these little stone pavers, which don't worry, I'm not done. I spend a ridiculous amount of time on this to the point where I'm actually almost embarrassed. But you can find these pavers and a lot of other like debug and live mode items on my gallery 102606. I love to do this thing where I will like categorize, we'll just say that, basically categorize and catalog these debug and live mode items into categories, so that if you're looking for certain things like these pavers, or I even have like a little like what is it called, landscaping pack for you guys. I just have a whole bunch of different stuff that's like categorized, like even garage clutter. I've got kitchen clutter and items, just a bunch of stuff. That's where you can find it. You can find it on my gallery. And I find this really useful, especially if I'm needing a little inspiration on how I want to decorate a certain room, or how I want to, landscape a certain lot. And I don't know. I also really like the fact that if you save a room to your gallery, you are actually able to go into the pre-made room. I think it's like the pre-made room category thingy-majigger in build mode, and it will be saved there for easier access for next time. So I think that's kind of cool. But yeah, I'm just adding in the finest of details into this pathway. I love how it kind of snakes around the front, and it's almost like this hidden entrance to the balcony. Just the little details, because I'm not really working with a lot of space. In fact, it's only a 30 by 20 lot. So even if you didn't want to necessarily place this lot here, there's actually a better place that I think you should put it, but this is just me. So if you have cottage living, then you might be familiar with Cordelia's secret, I think it's like secret cottage. Yeah. And that lot, you guys, is absolutely perfect to really take the plant sim aesthetic to the next level, because you will be truly surrounded by trees and plants, and it's just so green and beautiful. And even though I was a little apprehensive about putting a container home in Henford, it actually fits so perfectly. And I think it kind of does because of the way that I did the landscaping. So even though we're living in a kind of like modern-ish eco home, the interior is anything but, and also the exterior. So it's like, again, really, really versatile. So something I made like the best use out of, which I don't use a lot, is tulle. So I had these little twinkly fairy lights here on the outdoor balcony, and I needed to scale them down. When using the in-game brackets, they were just a little too small, and I've always been super intimidated by tulle, but actually it's so easy, and there's a million different things that you can do with tulle. And from my knowledge, if I upload this to the gallery, every adjustment that I make in tulle will not only not show up as CC, but it should actually transport into your game as well. So I made great use of scaling down those fairy lights. I think it's just perfect for this outdoor space to kind of brighten it up a little bit. And then I added in some lounge chairs. We also have these cute little planters and a yoga mat. And then later, you don't see this now, but later I do add in a little like bamboo chime, and I can only envision just being up there relaxing, doing a little bit of yoga, and just listening to those bamboos just chime away. Like that's seriously, and like a summer breeze, like, oh my god, yo, like that is paradise to me. So I add in a little bit of these like add in one vertical wall garden. I do think that you can actually level this up into like a meat wall if you wanted to. I wanted a meat wall and like a vertical garden, but I just couldn't find a place to put the other vertical garden. So I'm adding in some more mushroomies, which I definitely put down a lot. I scaled them up and I scaled them down just to kind of give, just some variation there. Sorry, I just hit my mic, so you probably heard that. But not even just that, I also use these little mushroom like stools too to add in a little bit of color. And I don't know, I just really love the way it looks. And the sprinkler too, because not only do we want to keep the plants fresh, we also want to, level up on our water intake when we're a plant sim, if your sim is a plant sim. So for the bathroom and in the entire house, I wanted to keep it very monochromatic because in my opinion, Cecile gets most of her color indoors from the plants. So basically green and beige is what we're going for. I do something a little bit different with the bathtub. I really wanted this stand-up shower. I had my heart set on it. I just love the way that it looked on the wall there. I was going to go for the base game, double tub, but I was like, nah, she's too much. So I decided just to put down the bathtub. So the stand-up part of the shower will not be functional, but the tub is. If you don't like it, you can remove one or the other. You can do whatever you want with that space, but I kind of like the way that it turned out. Not every item needs to be fully functional. I mean, it does to some capacity, but you can also use some other items to zhoosh up an item that has the same function, if you understand what I'm saying. So we're going into the main bedroom here. This is where I stick in a ton of plants. Originally, I had these two side by side, but then I decided to stagger them just because I didn't really like them that close. I also scaled down using tulle, that little ivy plant, which is my obsession. I love this freaking hanging plant. I want more, but I love that one too. You know what I'm saying? And that's the cool thing about tulle too, is because when you do use like the brackets to scale things down, sometimes they end up looking weird, like there's something off about them. But when you use tulle, it is truly downsizing the item, and you have so many more options to fine tune and tailor make an object to fit the space that you're, or even the vibe that you're going for, but the space that you're working in. So I wanted to add in a little like wall mirror. Wasn't really sure to do with this corner because it's such like an awkward place. I do come back and make some additional adjustments, and just to kind of fill up the dead space, I throw in an extra window, which I'm okay with because we live in a container home. We don't want to feel like claustrophobic, especially surrounded by all these plants. So I add in a few other items using the Blooming Gardens kit because yes, I do use quite a few items from there, but I wanted to additionally use that ivy curtain, but oh my gosh, y'all, that was just too much. It was doing the most. Maybe you guys like it, maybe you don't, but I just thought it was just a wee bit much. So moving on to the kitchen, this is probably my favorite area. I want to live, I want to exist, I want to cook, I want to just I just want to be in this kitchen all the time. I love this bump out window because you can actually put things up there. Granted, you do have to finagle it a little bit. Tool and the Alt button and shifting up and down were my absolute best friends for this. But I just love how imperfect this kitchen is. Like, we don't really have any cabinetry except these two little pieces, but I like it. The main focus is these windows and it's beautiful. I also absolutely adore these open counters. Or is it a counter? Yeah, it's a counter. I love these open countertops from Snowy Escape, and I do something a little bit later just to give it that more lived in look, but I love those. I think they're so neat. And this little, like, what is, like, Petri beaker little plant system, she's so cute. And so with this, I do scale it down just a hair. I also like rotate it and elevate it so that it looks like it is sitting perfectly in that window. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of hesitated really filling up this space with plants, and I think I could have done that, but again, I don't want to overwhelm you guys, you know what I'm saying? It might have been just a little too much. So here we are decorating the kitchen. I do realize at some point that hello Jen, you used every single available countertop. Like, what am I supposed to cook in? But anyways, we'll fix that in just a second. But I'm adding in these little miscellaneous kitchen items. So we got some spices, a cookbook, a cute little like grocery box, mason jars. I think I ended up deleting everything else. But again, when I'm talking about clutter and stuff, those type of items, they're available on my gallery for you guys to download. And then you can do stuff like this in your game with your own console, which I'm sure that'd be a lot easier to do having those items at hand on console, or you can obviously, you know, access them on PC. I don't think I need to tell you that. But anyways, we're kind of like wrapping up the interior here. It's a little cramped, but I just love how everything kind of flows together. Again, I'm struggling though with this space in particular, this corner piece. And so I think I added an easel in a little bit later. I love this trunk as the entertainment center. I thought that was really pretty too. See, I'm struggling. Like, I keep coming back to this space because I'm just like, what do I do here? I don't know. So an easel, a little basket full of blankies and pillows for the win. And then we decided to throw in a little guitar. And we're moving on to the garage, I guess. Originally, I was going to make this into a green room, but just because I had so much other stuff that I wanted to throw in here, I decided just to kind of make it like a little hobby garage. You know what I'm saying? a little she shed, I guess. So we have, again, the open countertops. We do have the candle making station. There's also a bunch of like various cute little odds and ends in here that kind of pertain to Cecile's interests and stuff. So feel free to, you know, change that up and make it however you want. I did want to add in a bicycle, and I did want to add in a beehive, but I forgot those things. And not, to be fair, I don't really have like a lot of space for those either. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the build, y'all. I'm just gonna go and kind of make a few final adjustments, but I will be putting this on the gallery at Gen2 606 in case you guys are interested in downloading it. And yeah, don't forget to check out Cecile Green's Create a Sim if you wish. And with that said, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, you know what to do, boo. Don't forget to go ahead and comment, rate, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, where the sun does not shine, and I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.
But can she walk in the fire? Can she run in the rain? Can she make it up the mountainside? Can she make it down again? I have often wondered if she'll go and jump the fence. Will she keep on moving onward or stay in what could have been? Broke my arm in December. We were running for the thrill. You turned in the canyon to the snowbank where I fell. Even still.